Welcome to Prior Resources, How to Find Anything on the Internet. I'm Terry Parker Brown, and in this course, I'll show you how to get the most out of the Internet. With information, entertainment, products, and services that are easily available at any time, the Internet is continually becoming more a part of the way we live and the way we do business. In this course, you'll see what the Internet has to offer, as you learn how to use a web browser to view web pages, navigate the web using bookmarks and other shortcuts, find what you want using search engines and subject catalogs, and use what you find online and offline. In addition, this course provides lists of useful websites. You can view the lists, print them, or connect to any of the listed websites directly from this course. Virtually all the websites you'll see during the course are included in these lists. As you go through the course, you'll learn the Internet skills for business and personal use, and along the way, we'll show you tips and shortcuts that'll save you time and improve your results. Before we start, we assume that your computer is already set up to connect to the Internet and that you have a web browser installed. We'll be using a PC in this course, running Microsoft Windows, and we'll be working with the most commonly used web browsers, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Netscape Navigator, and the America Online browser. But the skills you'll learn in this course will apply no matter what your browser is, and no matter whether you're using a Windows or a Macintosh computer. Now we'll show you how to get the most out of the Internet. Before you get started with this course, we'll take a moment to show you how to use it. The screen is divided into three areas: navigation bar, viewing area, and controls. The buttons in the navigation bar show the different lessons in the course. Clicking on a lesson button displays the demos in the lesson. When you select a demo, the demo movie plays in the viewing area. Helpful text screens also appear here. You run the course with the controls below the viewing area. Clicking the movie button displays the current demo's movie. Clicking text displays the instructor's text for the demo. The print button prints the current on-screen text. You drag the slider bar to move to any location in the demo. You can rewind to the beginning of the demo, play the demo from its current position, and pause the demo. Previous takes you to the previous demo, and Next takes you to the next demo. You can click Index to see the topics covered in this course and where they're found. This button displays our interactive listing of websites. And clicking on this button takes you to our website, which offers many additional learning resources to increase your computer proficiency and help you develop many other professional skills. To leave the course, click Exit. The Internet is the system that connects computers from anywhere in the world so people can send and receive information between them. These computers can be connected to the Internet by phone lines, TV cable, or satellite. Computers on the Internet offer a wealth of information on just about any subject you can imagine. The Internet feature that gives you convenient access to that information is the World Wide Web. The web lets you view and interact with pages that can include text, pictures, animations, audio, and video using a program known as a web browser. When you browse the web and visit web pages, what actually happens is that your browser sends a request for a page through the Internet to the computer where the page is stored. Then that computer sends a copy of that page to your computer so you can view it. Web pages are organized in web sites and are connected by hyperlinks. Clicking on hyperlinks moves you from page to page on the web. Our computer is already online, meaning that it's connected to the Internet, so now we'll open our web browser. There are a number of web browsers available, and they all work pretty much the same way. We'll begin by using Netscape Navigator. To start it, we'll double-click its desktop icon. The browser on your computer might start differently. When we say click or double-click, we're talking about the left mouse button unless we say otherwise. We double-click the icon and the Netscape Navigator window opens. You might get a message asking if you want this to be your default browser, meaning that it will be the browser that your computer uses whenever you look at web pages. You can choose yes or no in that message box as you prefer. The browser displays its starting page, called the home page. We'll get to this page in a minute, but first we'll look at the features of the browser. Netscape Navigator is similar to other Windows and Macintosh programs. Across the top of the window is the title bar, with the name of the page that's displayed and the name of the browser. Below that is the menu bar. We click a menu heading to open that menu. Some menu items show a keyboard shortcut you can press to use the feature without even opening the menu. To close a menu, we click outside the menu or on the menu heading. Anytime we want help while we're working with our browser, we can use the Help menu. When we choose the main Help selection, the Help window opens. The Help window offers us a choice of ways to find help information. We can look through the help contents to find the help topic we want. We can also look in the alphabetical index, using keywords to find and display a topic. To close the Help window, we just click on its Close button. Besides the menus, you can also choose features from the toolbar. Pointing to a toolbar button displays a screen tip, which shows what the button does. Below the toolbar is the location bar. We'll show you these and other features as we use them. At the side and bottom of the screen are scroll bars for moving through a web page. We can scroll by clicking a scroll arrow or by dragging the scroll box. Dragging is holding down the left mouse button, moving the mouse, and then releasing the button. Also, at the bottom of the screen is the status bar, which gives you information about the browser's operations. For training purposes, the resolution of our computer screen is set to 640 by 480 to make it easier for you to read it. Your resolution might be higher so that more information displays on the screen. The main part of the browser window displays a web page. This is our browser home page, which is the web page that automatically displays when the browser opens. Later in this course, we'll show you how to choose a browser home page and how to personalize it to give you the information you want in the way you want it. The web is a great source for news, so we'll begin our browsing by visiting the New York Times website. One way to get to a web page is to type and enter its address, also known as its URL, here in the address box. We click in the box and type the URL of the page we want, www.nytimes.com. Then we press Enter, and the page displays. Web pages may display faster or slower on your computer depending on the speed of your modem and your internet connection. This is the New York Times home page. The phrases your home page and the home page are used in different ways when we talk about the web, so it's important to avoid confusion. There's the browser home page, which displays automatically when you open your browser. There's the site home page, sometimes called the start page, which is the first page that displays when you view a web site. And there's your personal home page, which is the first page of your own website if you have one. The New York Times website homepage contains headlines, articles, pictures, and ads. Many of these items are connections to information on other pages. These connections are called hyperlinks, often simply referred to as links. Clicking a hyperlink takes you to the connected page. For example, to see the full text of this article, we can click on this link. When we do, the page displays. The address of the page displays in the address box. The web pages within sites often have complex addresses, especially in large sites that have a lot of pages. To see all of a web page, we can use the scroll bar to move down the page and back up again. When we want to go back to pages we viewed previously, we click the Back button in the browser toolbar. The Forward button will move us forward through the pages we've visited. Hyperlinks are often text, like this. Text links are usually underlined and in a color that's different from the other text on the page. Links you visited recently generally display in another color. Links can also be graphics. This picture is a link to the article it goes with, and this ad is a link to the advertiser's website. Text can also be placed on a web page as a graphic and then used as a link, like this headline. Links can even have screen tips like this one. The mouse pointer changes to a hand to indicate that you're pointing at a hyperlink, and the address of the linked page displays in the status bar. The mouse pointer normally displays as an I-beam when you point to regular text, and it displays as an arrow when you point to a regular graphic. A graphic can be divided into a number of separate links, like this site index which lists the sections on the site. When we click on the business link, the business page displays. To see more of the page, we'll scroll down, this time using the keyboard. The down arrow and up arrow keys move us down and up the page. This page shows stock market information and includes a feature where you can type in stock symbols and get quotes. To get back to the previous page using the keyboard, we hold the Alt key and press the right arrow key. Alt left arrow would move us forward. Here are a couple more keyboard shortcuts that make browsing easier. You may have noticed earlier that even though we typed in www.nytimes.com, the browser automatically displays the address with http:// in front and another / at the end. This is the complete address for this page, but with most browsers we can just start with www and we can skip the final /. And with some browsers we can often type even less. For example, to get to the Money Magazine website, we click in the address box to select the address and we just type and enter money.com. If this name were specialized enough, we could even skip the .com. We press enter and the page displays. This site is full of financial information, especially about investing. Notice how different the actual web address is. Some web pages have more than one address that connects to them. Here's another shortcut for getting to web pages. Many browsers keep track of pages you've recently visited. When you start typing an address that matches one of these, the browser completes the address for you. If this isn't the address you want, keep typing. If it is, just press enter. A final note about web addresses and their case. Most of the time, you can type the main part of a web address in lower or uppercase. So, for example, you could type this address in all lowercase, all caps, or a combination. But when there's extended address information called the path after the .com or .net or whatever, like this, that part of the address usually has to be in all lowercase. Once you know how to get to web pages using addresses and hyperlinks, you can start exploring the web. And if you're like most people, you'll soon see that you can spend a lot of time finding and viewing websites, so it's important to know how to get around the web efficiently. Now we'll show you how to get to where you're going quickly and easily. And remember that virtually all of the websites that we visit in this course are included in the listings on the CD, so you don't need to worry about writing down the URLs. This time we'll work with a different browser, the one used with AOL, America Online. The interface is similar to Netscape Navigator, but AOL is different in that it's an online service that includes a browser for viewing content from both AOL and from the Internet. It starts with a welcome screen, which we'll minimize to get it out of the way for now. Let's say that you're going to be traveling for business or pleasure, and you want to find online information about the country you're going to. One place to start is with the Library of Congress website. We type and enter the web address. This site provides access to a wide variety of resources. To make the window as large as possible, we click the Maximize button. From the home page, we click the Using the Library link. The web page that displays includes lists of library services and collections. Let's look at digital collections and programs. Among the links on this page, we see one for country studies and area handbooks. When we click that, we get a country studies page that gives us the option of searching for what we want or browsing for it. You'll learn about searching later, so for now we'll browse, meaning we follow links to find what we want. We click on Browse. This link takes us to a table of country studies. From here we can find and click on the country we want information about. Notice that when we scroll the page up, we see that this table is on the same page as the link we just clicked. Hyperlinks can refer to a location on the same web page as well as to other pages. Now we want to return to the site home page to see what else the site has to offer. We could use the back button to retrace all our steps, but there's an easier way. We move to the bottom of the web page using the keyboard shortcut Control-End. The page includes a link to the site homepage. This is a common feature of web pages in a well-designed website. We click the link and we're at the site homepage. From here, we'd like to get an overview of the entire site. This page has a link to the site map, which is also a feature you'll find on many websites. Sometimes it may have another name, like Site Index. When we click the link, the browser displays a page with links to everything on the site. The links are grouped in sections to make it easier to find what we want. Now we'll set up a browser homepage, customized to give us just the information we want. And this time the browser we'll use is Microsoft Internet Explorer. Besides the similar elements of the interface, Internet Explorer includes a links toolbar which we'll deal with a little later in this course. This is the page that is currently set as the home page in this browser. We'll demonstrate with another page to show you how to personalize it and then set it as a home page. The website we'll begin at is yahoo.com. Yahoo is the type of site known as a portal because it gives you access to lots of other web locations and features. To create our own personalized web page, we click My Yahoo. The page displays with news, stock quotes, sports scores, TV listings, and more. To personalize it, we first need a Yahoo ID and password. To get that, we click here. We create a unique ID and password and fill in personal information for security purposes and to indicate our location and interests. To save time, I've already done that, so we go back to the previous page. We type our ID and press Tab to move to the password box. We type that in. We check to have our computer remember the ID and password so we don't have to type them in each time we get here. When your computer stores specific information about your relationship to a website, it's called a cookie. Sometimes you set this yourself, as we just did, but often the website sets this automatically. Then we click the Sign In button. This is our basic page. It's automatically customized with local weather and sports information. Now we can personalize the content and layout of the page. We click the Content link. Here we choose what content modules we want. If we don't want the TV listings, for example, we just uncheck that setting. There is a lot of content to choose from, and we can also change the layout of the page, but for now, we'll finish these changes. We scroll down the page and we see that the TV listings are gone. And once we've selected content modules, we can edit what's in them. For example, to change the news module, we click that edit link. There are a number of news sections available, and to choose exactly what we want in them, we select a section. And then choose one or more items that we want to see in it. Then we click Finished. We set how many headlines we want in each section, and we click Finished again. Here's our personalized page. We can continue to fine-tune it, and we can even get email through this page. There are many other sites where you can create a customized page, and you'll see some of them in our website listings. Now we'll set this page as our browser home page, so it will display each time we open the browser. We open the Tools menu and select Internet Options. This dialog box, which we use to communicate with the computer, shows the address of the previous home page setting. To use the current web page, we just click that button. Notice, by the way, that we also use this dialog box to control how temporary Internet files are stored in the cache, and to control the history settings, which you'll learn about later. Then we click OK. Now, whenever we open this browser or click the Home button, this page will display. You can use this procedure to set nearly any page as your browser home page. If you're using America Online, to set the browser home page, you click the My AOL button and select Preferences. Then click the World Wide Web button and set your Internet options. And if you're using Netscape Navigator to set the browser home page, you open the Edit menu and select Preferences. Then choose Use Current Page. As you use the web, it's important to not only get to where you're going quickly and easily, but also to efficiently get to where you've been. I've been looking at the PR Newswire website, which is a source for press release information from corporations all over the world. The page indicates the time that each release was posted, so we know how current the information is. Notice also that this page has two sections called frames. Each frame contains a separate web page. Frames are often used to keep a contents list on the screen while we view other pages on the site. Let's go back to the home page. Now we want to revisit a site that we looked at yesterday. The back button won't get us there, but the history feature will. We click the history button and a frame called the Explorer bar opens. It shows the sites we visited today and the sites we visited in recent days and weeks. If you're using Netscape Navigator, you display the history list by opening the Communicator menu, selecting Tools, and then History. The list will then open in a separate window. And if you're using America Online, the history displays as a drop-down list under the address box. Some other browsers have a history drop-down list here as well. In Internet Explorer, we click to display yesterday's websites. The site we want to return to is the Hoover's site. We click to display the pages we viewed in the site. Pointing to a page listing displays a screen tip with the page name and URL. We'll go to the home page. We don't need the history listing anymore, so we click the Close button in the upper right corner. The Hoover's website is one of the many that offer information about companies, the industries they're in, and about other business-oriented topics. Let's say that your business has a product that you would like auto parts stores to carry. To find out about the companies in that industry, we first click the Companies and Industries link. Then we click Industries, and then Industry List. From here, we can find the industry we want alphabetically. Since we're already on the A page, we just scroll down. Auto parts retailing is what we want, so we click it. We get a page listing companies in this industry. We can get a company capsule, and for some companies, a more comprehensive profile is available. This symbol indicates that you can get profile information only if you've signed up for membership on this site. Many news and information sites offer basic access for free and other levels of access for a fee. When we click the capsule link for one of these companies, we get information that includes a link to their website, a description, and links to information about their top competitors. Now let's go back to the PR Newswire site. We could click the back button repeatedly until we reversed all our steps. But in Internet Explorer, we can click the small arrow on the side of the back button to get a list of the pages we just visited. We select the page we want. Notice that this page displays the same information that it did earlier. That's because the pages you've recently visited are temporarily stored in your computer in what's called the cache. The back and forward buttons display these stored pages instead of taking the time to download them again from the web. If we want the most recent version of the page, we just click the refresh button and the page is updated from the web. In some browsers, this is called the reload button. This Lonely Planet website has lots of useful resources for travelers. I often use this destinations page when I'm starting to plan a trip. To make it easy to get back to a page whenever we want to, we can bookmark it. Once a site is bookmarked, it shows up on a list in the browser. In Internet Explorer, bookmarks are called favorites. The Favorites menu displays the pages that we've already bookmarked. Most of our bookmarks are organized in folders. Some of these folders and bookmarks were already set up when we installed the browser, and since then we've added others. Notice the Links folder. I'll explain more about that in a minute. The bookmarks on our main Favorites menu include this one, called NetLingo, which is a handy guide to Internet terms and jargon. When we click it, that page displays. We can search for terms alphabetically and use other resources available on the site. That's how a bookmark works. And remember the Links folder? Bookmarks in that folder display on the Links toolbar, making them even easier to get to. If you're using Netscape Navigator, it's called the Personal toolbar. If it's not displayed on your computer, you can open the View menu and select Show, then select Personal toolbar. To show or hide the toolbar, click the tab at the left end. In some browsers, including Internet Explorer, we can move toolbars, dragging them where we want them to go. Let's go back to the Lonely Planet page. Now we'll bookmark it, adding it to the Favorites list. We open the Favorites menu and select Add to Favorites. In the dialog box, we can change the name of the bookmark if we want to. We'll leave this one as is. Here's a tip though. You may want to remove words like the or welcome to from the beginnings of bookmark names so you can sort them alphabetically by the actual name. Next, we choose where to create the bookmark using this folder list. If it doesn't display on your computer, just click the Create In button. If we don't choose a folder, it's added to the main favorites list. We could create a new folder if we wanted to, but we'll add this one to the Travel folder. Then we click OK. Now when we open the Favorites menu and go to the Travel folder, our bookmark is there. Now we want to move this bookmark into a folder. It's a legal reference website, and since we'll probably bookmark more legal sites, we'll create a new folder. To organize our favorites, we select that from the menu and a dialog box opens. First, we'll create the new folder, so we click that button. The new folder is added to the bottom of the list, and we type and enter a name for it. Then we select the item we want to move and click the Move to Folder button. Another dialog box asks which folder we want to move it to. We select the Legal folder and click OK. We could also rename or delete items here, but we're done for now, so we click Close. When we open the Favorites menu, the new folder displays. To rearrange the order of items in the list, we just drag an item. The line shows where it will be moved to. When we release the mouse button, it's moved. We close the menu. To show you another way to display the Favorites list, we click the Favorites button and the list displays in the Explorer bar. This is useful if we want to keep it open as we use it. If you're using America Online, bookmarks are called Favorite Places. You add one by clicking the Favorite Places button on the web page window. You display your list by clicking the Favorites button and selecting Favorite Places. Besides using the buttons on the bottom to work with your favorite places, you can organize items by dragging them. If you're using Netscape Navigator, you display bookmarks with the Bookmark button. You would use Add Bookmark to add a bookmark to the main list, and File Bookmark to file a bookmark in a folder. Selecting Edit Bookmarks opens the Bookmarks window in which you can edit and organize items. From here you can add new bookmarks and folders using the File menu.
There's a vast amount of information on the web, with more added all the time. So when you want to get some information, it's important to know how to find it without spending huge amounts of time. There are many search sites on the web, and if you know how to use them, you'll be able to find what you want more efficiently. Search sites differ in the features they offer and in the results they get, so you should try different sites to find the ones you like. Some sites work with a search engine, some use a subject catalog, and some use both. A search engine searches the web for sites that contain a word or words that you're looking for. Some search sites use multiple search engines simultaneously. A subject catalog arranges links to selected websites in categories and subcategories that you search through, going from the general to the specific until you find what you want. Search engines are good for finding information on something particular, and subject catalogs are good for exploring a broad subject to find what you want. We'll use both in this demo, and we'll begin by using search engines. Let's say you're in the binocular business, specializing in binoculars for bird watching, and your territory is in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington State. You want to search the web for useful information that will help you sell your product.
We're using Netscape Navigator again, and we've displayed the Northern Lights search site. It uses a number of search engines to find what we're looking for. We click in the Search For box and type the word we want to search for, binoculars. To start the search, we can either press Enter or click the Search button. We press Enter. As you can see, a simple search like this can find thousands of web pages. To look through all these pages for references to bird watching or Seattle and Tacoma would be ridiculous. Let's try it another way. We select the text in the search box and replace it with bird watching. Then we start the search. This time we get even more sites,
Part of the problem is that when we type 2 or more words like this, search engines look for websites that contain any one of these words. If we put the words in double quotation marks, search engines will look for them as a whole phrase. Well, that's a little better, but there are still way too many sites to look through. Now we'll show you how to narrow down your search to make it a lot more manageable. Advanced search features can help you focus your search on the pages that are likely to be the most valuable to you. Here are some of the more common advanced search features. One of these features you've just seen, quotation marks to group words into phrases. Other features called Boolean operators or logical operators allow you to fine-tune a web search. One of these is the word and. Words or phrases connected by the AND operator must all be found on a page for the search engine to list it. With the OR operator, the search engine will list a page if it has either of the connected words or phrases. The NOT operator indicates that the word or phrase that follows must not be on the page. If it is, the search engine will not list it. Parentheses allow us to group words and phrases to focus a search even more. The plus sign is similar to the AND operator, indicating a word or phrase that must be there. The minus sign is like the NOT operator. Another valuable search feature is word order. A search starts by looking for pages that contain the first word or phrase in the search statement. Putting the most important or the least common word or phrase at the front of the search statement makes it more likely that the most useful pages will display near the top of the search results. Not all search engines use every one of these features, but most search engines use at least some of them. Now let's focus our search. We put the word binoculars at the front of the search statement and connect it to birdwatching with the AND operator. To fine-tune the search to the territory we'll be working in, we use the AND operator again, and in parentheses we type Seattle or Tacoma. The search engine will look for pages that contain the word binoculars and the phrase birdwatching, and either Seattle or Tacoma. We start the search. Now that many pages we can deal with, especially when the documents at the top of the results list are more likely to be what we're looking for. This is an example of how to use search engines to find what we want. Next, we'll search using a subject catalog. This time, let's say you've been thinking about starting your own small business. There's a lot you need to know, so we'll search the web for helpful information using the Yahoo website. We visited the Yahoo site earlier when we set up a browser homepage. Now we'll use it for searching. Yahoo does have a search engine feature, but we'll search in the subject categories. This page shows the main categories with some of the subcategories below them. We could begin our search with one of these subcategory links, but I think the one to start with is the main Business and Economy category. This page displays a number of subcategories that could be useful. Let's start with Small Business Information. That subcategory has subcategories of its own. Most of these will be useful to us, but before we do much of anything, we should have a business plan, so we select that link. We get a list of websites offering help in creating a business plan. We can now visit any or all of these, and then later look at some of the other small business subcategories. Sometimes you want to keep a page like this available while you open other pages from it. To open linked pages in a new browser window, just click the link using the right mouse button, and from the menu select Open in New Window. You can switch between windows using the buttons in the taskbar. You can open additional windows, and then you can close windows when you're done with them. Most browsers give you one-click access to search features. In Netscape Navigator, the search button displays the Netscape search page, which offers a choice of search services. If you're using America Online, the search button displays their search page. And if you're using Internet Explorer, the search button displays a search page in the Explorer bar. Clicking Customize lets you choose which search page displays.
When you find useful information on the web, you often want to do more with it than just read it on the web page. You can print a web page or save it on your computer to refer to it later. You can also copy web page information into another program like a word processor. And you can send a web page to someone using email. Now we'll show you how to use information from the web in each of these ways.
Keep in mind that different browsers may have different features available.
There are websites like this one published by trade journals and industry groups for just about any field you can name. Browsing with Internet Explorer, let's take a look at this article. Let's say that once we've read it, we want to use it in other ways. To print this page, we'll use the Print button. If you can't see all of a toolbar, there are usually arrows at the end that display the rest. We click the button. The page is sent to the printer and will print just as you see it, including graphics. We can also save the page as a file on our hard disk for future reference. We open the File menu and select Save As. We can choose where to save the file, and we can change the name if we want to. We'll give it a more specific name. For the type of page, we can save it with alt text layout and graphics either as an HTML file or for sending later as email. HTML is the format used to create web pages. It allows web pages to display in any browser. We can save the page as HTML only without any graphics or other related files like sounds. And we can save just the text on the page as a text file that can be read by any other program. We'll use this last option to make it easy to refer to this information later. Then we click the Save button and the file is saved. Now we want to use some of this text in a document we're writing with our word processor. First, we copy the text we want to use by dragging with the mouse. Then we open the Edit menu and select Copy. To deselect the text, we click Anywhere. We've already started our word processor, Microsoft Word, so we switch to it using the button in the taskbar. We make sure our cursor is where we want the text to go. Then we open this Edit menu. We'll use Paste Special rather than Paste because we want to paste the text without any of the formatting it had on the web page. In the dialog box, we select Unformatted Text, and then we click OK. The text is pasted. Then we make a note about our source for this information. We switch back to the web page. Besides using this information ourselves, we know someone else who would be interested in this, so we'll email it to them. We open the File menu and select Send. We have the option of sending this page by email or of sending a link to this page. Sending the page makes sure that the recipient gets this information even if the page on the web changes. Sending a link is good when you know the recipient will visit the site soon, or if you want to refer them to the site itself rather than to any specific information. Sending a link also keeps the email message size small so it downloads quickly. We'll send the page, so we click that selection. A message window opens with the page name as the message subject and the page as an attachment. When the recipient gets this message, they'll simply open this page in their browser. We could now complete this email adding the recipient and any other message text. To send the message, we'd click Send.
Besides using the web to view web pages, we sometimes use it to send information. For example, when we buy products or sign up for online services. Keep in mind that companies on the web often ask for personal information, and they often make it available to other businesses as well. Sometimes this information is used to track your web usage or to determine what advertising you'll receive on the web, in the mail, etc. You may or may not appreciate this kind of targeting. Some websites offer you a choice about how your information is used and about what advertising you'll get. You'll see an example of that in this demo.
This is a website where you can look for a job and where employers can post jobs that are available. As with many websites, we need to register before we can use the site. On the registration page, we're asked to fill in some information. When we use web page forms like this one, we sometimes type information into text boxes like these, and sometimes we choose it by opening a drop-down list, like this one for title, and selecting from the available choices. List boxes also offer choices, like this one for career objective. In this case, the instructions tell us that we can enter up to 3 choices by holding the Control key as we click. The next section in the registration page asks for personal information, including our income and our interests. Notice that this company assures us that they are the only ones who will have access to this information. Here we're given a choice about receiving advertising coupons in our email.
Selections like this are called radio buttons and allow us to choose only one of the available options. We choose No Thanks. This section offers categories of products, opportunities, or services and asks us to check which, if any, we want to receive information about. We can uncheck the ones we're not interested in and check the ones we are. The last section asks if we want to be on the website's mailing list. We make sure the choice is the one that we want, and then we're ready to submit our information. Since this is a registration form, the button to submit the information is labeled accordingly. If we wanted to undo all our entries and start over, we would click the Reset button. On some web page forms, these buttons will be labeled Submit and Clear. Besides submitting information in forms, websites will often include links for sending email. For example, we can click on this webmaster link if we have questions or problems regarding this website. A message window displays with the recipient's email address already filled in. Webmaster is a term used for the person responsible for a website. All we have to do is enter the subject, type the message, and click Send. Since we don't have any problems with this site, we close the message window. Besides sending information through the Internet, you can receive or download information files or program files. For example, we'll switch to this browser's home page, which is currently the Netscape Net Center. We click the download link. On the download page, we can get the latest version of Netscape Communicator, which is the software package that includes this browser, plus other features like email. We would just select the link that's appropriate to our needs, and the program file will be downloaded to our computer. A type of file that we often download is called a plugin. Plugins are programs that add features to our browser. There are many plugins available. Some web pages include elements that require a plugin for us to experience them. For example, Flash lets us play animations. Shockwave allows us to get high-quality graphics and interactive multimedia, and Real Player lets us run real-time audio and video. When you browse a web page that requires a plugin and you don't have it, you'll usually get a message with a link that lets you download it. Many downloads are free, some you pay for, and some, like Real Player, have both versions. The one they charge you for has more features than the free one. One of the things you have to watch out for when you download files from the Internet is viruses. Don't download a file from a source you don't trust, and always run a good virus-checking program on your computer. One of the many uses of the Internet is electronic commerce, usually called e-commerce, buying and selling goods and services on the web. We're on America Online again, and we're at the PC Connection website. PC Connection sells computer hardware and software, and the site is typical of the way e-commerce works. To find what you want, you can search for it. You can look at the products and services offered on the home page, or you can browse through a category structure. Let's say we're looking for a laser printer. We click on the Printers and Scanners category. Then we click to select the type of printer we want. We get a page with a list of laser printers, in this case sorted by price. When we see an item we're interested in, we can add it to our shopping cart, or we can click to get more information about it. This page has a picture and description of the item and product specifications. At the top of the page, we see that the item is in stock, so we add it to our shopping cart. To continue shopping, we could use the back button to return to the product listing, but now let's take a look at our cart. We click the View Checkout button, and we get the shopping cart page. We see what's in the cart and the prices for items and shipping. We can change the quantity or how the order is shipped and then recalculate the total. We can continue shopping, and when we're ready to buy, we can check out. Normally, we would buy with a secure connection, which protects the privacy of the information we send. A few browsers or Internet services don't offer that, and in that case, you'd use the unsecure connection. When we click the Buy button, we get a message telling us that we're going to view pages on a secure connection. We click OK. The checkout page is a form we fill out with name and address, credit card information, etc. Since this is only a demonstration, we won't really check out. We click the Back button. We get a message telling us we're leaving a secure connection, and we click Yes. Another way to buy online and to sell online is at an auction site. We'll go to the eBay site, which offers millions of items in a wide variety of categories. As with many sites, we register before we use the site, and we can get helpful information on how the site works. To see an auction page, we'll select one of the featured items. When we do, we get a web page with information about the bidding, the quantity available, and how much time is left in the auction. We can get information about the seller, including feedback from people who've purchased from them previously. By the way, auction sites are used by many small businesses as well as by individuals. The page also has a description of the product, often with a picture, and shipping information. Here's a basic explanation of how bidding works. To bid on the item, you first register if you haven't already. Then you enter how many you want if there are more than one available, and the maximum you're willing to pay. The website keeps your maximum amount secret and increases your bid only enough to keep you ahead of the other bidders. The auction runs for a fixed amount of time. If you're the high bidder when it's over, you make arrangements directly with the seller to purchase the item and have it shipped to you.
This course includes listings of some of our favorite websites, which you can view by clicking the Websites button below. When the listing is displayed, you can print it using the Print button below, and you can visit a listed site by clicking its hyperlink. Keep in mind that the Internet is constantly evolving. Websites come and go and change. Websites included in this course may be different or gone when you try to visit them, but there are always new websites coming online every day. In the demos in this lesson, we'll show you a sampling of the websites in our listings, beginning with sites that help you use the Internet and that offer other computer information, products, and services.
Among the many search sites available are those for finding individuals and organizations like Anywho. You can search for people, businesses, toll-free numbers, and websites. You can even do a reverse lookup if you know a phone number but not who it's for, and you can display maps and directions. To find a business, you enter what you know and select Find. If the listing is available, you get additional information including their phone number and links to maps of their location. The web also has lots of sites to help you work with your computer hardware and software. As an example, we'll go to the Microsoft website. When we point to the Support link, we get a menu of support options. We choose the Knowledge Base, which is a searchable database of technical support information. Notice that the site also offers a link to FAQs, which stands for Frequently Asked Questions. Many websites include FAQs and the answers to them to help solve problems. In this sampling of our favorite websites, we include sites from the huge selection of business products and services on the Internet. Online banking is one of them. An example is the Wingspan.com site, which offers a variety of banking services, including bill paying. If we select Bank and click to see a demo, we go to an account summary page. We can get more detailed information about an account, or we can transfer funds. Here we get a form to choose the transfer accounts and amount. We can also use the net to find opportunities for our business. For example, this is the homepage for Commerce Business Daily, the federal government website that tells which companies have been awarded government contracts and which contracts are available. We can search through the information or we can browse it. We select the Browse option. From here, we'll look at the notices of products and services for which the government is seeking sources. The notices are listed in chronological order, with the most recent at the top. Selecting one displays detailed information, including the due date and contact person. If you're interested in online investing, you can go to a site like Ameritrade.com. Before you can trade, you need to open an account. You select the account you want and then enter the secure connection. The application page is a form in which you enter the type of account you want and how you'll fund it, and information about yourself. Once your application and funds are set up, you're ready to trade. The broad scope of the Internet includes information on just about anything you want to know. Included in our listings are websites like CitySearch, where you can find out about what's going on culturally, both locally and around the world. Just select a city. and a page displays with information on dining, music, theater, and other events. To see what's happening on a different date, just select it in the calendar. Sites like this can be very handy for planning ahead when you're traveling. This page also includes links to movies, shopping, and more useful information. On a more serious note, the Internet is also a good source of government information at federal, state, and local levels. At the IRS site, we can get tax information, help, regulations, and forms. One of the features available on the Forms page lets us download tax forms and instructions and then print them. To get documents, we first select the file, format we want, and then we choose from a list of forms and instructions.